Hey guys, it's Greg at Vanguard Motor Sales. I thought I'd come down to Junction today and show you what's going on here. Now, it takes a lot of hands to keep this baby going, and we got so many cars here, it takes a lot of work to keep these things all detailed. We got about half the detail team here wiping off some of our newer muscle cars here. We got Eric and Cody and Bree back there. Eric's wiping on our Blackwing right there. That thing is absolutely gorgeous, and you want to talk about fun to drive. Unfortunately, that one has very few miles on it, and I don't get to drive that one, but I have driven one that we had here earlier, and a good friend of ours, Ken Lingenfelter, tells me about taking it out on the track. He says he likes driving it better than his C8. And look at that vet sitting right there. That's a sold vet waiting to be picked up here. I mean, we've got a lot of amazing cars. You see the T-Bird behind it, it's also sold. Sitting right next to it, check this baby out. She is beautiful, isn't it? This is the Black Ghost. Isn't that sweet? And then sitting behind it there is another Hellcat. I believe that's a red-eye wide body. Looking sweet. We got a couple of Demons in here. We got a couple of red-eye wide bodies. Couple of Cadillacs, couple of Mustang GT500s back here. These guys are rubbing on them. They're using a little detail mist, keeping them all nice and clean, so when we deliver these babies to your house, they're looking sweet. Now we're going to swing around here to the detail, not to the detail guys, to the inspection guys. We got Brandon over here inspecting cars. Nate should be over here somewhere. Looks like they got the Super B up on the lift, checking out the bottom side of it. Look at this thing. You want to talk about beautiful? All painted up, looking good. They're completely going through their complete checklist, and once they've gone through the checklist, our shop manager will go through that work order, decide all the things that we're going to fix, and then take care of all that. You want to say hi, Brandon?
Hey.
There's Brandon. He's actually training. He used to be in the detail department. He's actually training to be inspector. And then we've got this amazing 69. Now we got a little surprise under the hood. I know everybody's looking at that scoop thinking, oh, Boss 429. Well, got just a little bit more than that. We got a Coyote with a supercharger sitting on top. You want to talk about a rocket ship? This is a rocket ship. Besides this Coyote and the upgraded transmission and the mini tub job, for the most part, this is an all-stock 69 Mustang. Just looking absolutely gorgeous. Now they're in the middle of doing their inspection on it right now, and they discovered, you can see we got the seats out right now, they discovered that they'd used the wrong foam in the seats, so the seats sat a little high. So we took those over to our interior guy, had him go through them, make sure the right foam's in there. That way everything feels nice and comfortable when we park that dream in your driveway. Now look at that, baby. You want to talk about a sea of beautiful cars? Man. Look at that retractable. I tell you, when I was a kid, that's all my dad talked about is the Ford retractables. That's actually a 59. We had a 57 as a kid. It wasn't a retractable, but it was one of my dad's very first cars, and I still own the 57 that he restored back in the 80s. We got a beautiful GTO sitting here, and you want to talk about one fabulous bubble top here. This baby's got LS power under the hood. We all chromed up, looking sweet. Everything is etched. Everything is triple plated chrome. Of course, it's been on the rotisserie. The bottom side of this is just as pretty as the top. And what's really cool is they really did a nice job with this, because I tell you what, besides the few little touches, I mean, this thing's looking pretty stock for the most part. Of course, those wheels are an upgrade, you know that, but I like what they did with the interior. And I really like what they did with this stripe in here. You know, it kind of looks like houndstooth in there. Somebody put a lot of time and work into this. Then of course we got this good looking Super B here. Everybody loves the Super B. Probably one of the hottest cars out there, the Super Bs, the Road Runners. Then we got a couple of Chevelles over here. We got a couple 70 Chevelles. This GTX sitting right here to the left of us. Then of course everybody, I know he's kind of shooting over the top of it right now, but you see that big sold sticker on this IROC? You want to talk about attention. We've had a black one and then we have this maroon one. We've had a ton of attention on these babies. Everybody remembers, especially guys about my age, about 60 years old, back when we were in college, falling in love with these beautiful cars. I tell a story all the time. I had one of them bought, but I couldn't afford the insurance. I had to go back and get my down payment back from the dealership. Then of course, probably one of the most popular cars on the planet is a 70 Chevelle. And then a big block under the hood. Isn't that looking beautiful? Pop the hood on any one of our cars, pop them up on a lift. Everything on these things is looking absolutely beautiful. Now I'll give you a little lesson to tell you the difference. A 70 has 2 headlights, and then on a 71, the marker lights are on the corner. It has 2 separate marker lights. Then on a 72, that marker light is just one piece. That's a quick telltale sign to be able to put a year on those cars. Of course, I love the red interior with the silver, just looking sweet as can be. Then of course you have the pickup trucks. F100, all custom frame, custom motor, completely, absolutely beautiful. And you gotta check out the bed in this thing. Look at that woodwork in there. Isn't that looking sweet? I really, really love the finish on it. I'll tell you what, the guy that did the finish on this thing really knocked it out of the park. It matches this gray, just absolutely gorgeous. Now that is oak in there. And I know the guy that did the woodwork in there. You know who it was? I did it. It came in with some like sticky carbon fiber covering on it, and it just didn't look right. And I think the heat and everything from being out in the sun had it all wrinkled up. So we took this whole bed apart, we re-stained it. Actually, I did the stain work. I can't take all the credit. Then we sent it over to our painter, and he did all the lacquer work. And then look at this little gem right here, man. That little F100 is looking absolutely amazing. Of course, complete custom frame, custom power plant, everything underneath it looking sweet. And then looking over here to the left. Now, one of the things people, we don't get a lot of visitors here at Vanguard, and I tell you what, when we do, people just come in here and freak out. A lot of times a guy will come in here looking at this Impala, and when he gets here, he's like, oh my God, I always wanted an orange Camaro. And they end up leaving with the orange Camaro instead of the Impala they came in to look at. So we do invite you to come in, check us out in person. We can get any of these cars up on the lift, show you what's going on with it. I tell you, they're just a plethora of cars here. We're always getting new cars in. The buyers, we've got a whole team of buyers, about 10 guys and gals who all they do all day long is look for cars, make phone calls, get pictures, look at pictures, get videos, and then once we put a deal together on the cars, we physically go out and look at the cars all over the country. That way you don't have to. So check out our website at vanguardmotorsales.com. Check out our sold inventory too. There's a lot of really cool stuff on there.